Okay, in the earlier section, we introduced applet drawing basics. Let's do a quick review and then look at a few more details about the drawing operations available to applets. So we said that you put the code in the paint method, you use @override, and then the system automatically invokes the paint method at the right time. We'll also see in the next lecture that you can draw not just at the time the system decides, but also at the time you decide. And so in the next lecture, we will also have event handlers, and we'll say, draw whenever the user clicks the left mouse, or draw whenever the user hits a key on the keyboard. But for standard drawing, you put it in the paint method, the system invokes it automatically, and the system re-invokes it when the applet gets at least partially covered up and re-exposed. You don't use the drawLine method of the applet class. There is no such method. You use the drawLine method of the graphics or pen object that's passed to the paint method. And as we'll see in the next lecture, you can also call getGraphics to get the graphics object anytime you want, like if you want to draw periodically or you want to draw when the user clicks the mouse. And we also mentioned that 0, 0 is not the bottom left corner, but it's the top left corner. X goes to the right as you would expect, but Y goes down, not up, as you probably would not expect. So we saw this example earlier. This means draw a line from the top left corner diagonally down, not draw a line from the bottom left corner diagonally up. All right, so let's look at a few more of the drawing methods of the graphics object. So in the paint method, you'd say g.drawLine, g.drawString, g.drawRect, not drawString, drawRect, fillRect directly. And I'm not going to go into a lot of details on these methods, but let me just kind of give you a general idea. One is that they come in pairs. There's draw something or another and fill something or another. The draw something or another does the outline, the fill something or another does the inside. So draw oval, the outline of an ellipse, fill oval, fills in the ellipse. Polygon, draw polygon, fill polygon. But images are tricky enough that they're worth coming back and revisiting in more detail because images actually involve a background thread, and knowing about the background thread is important. You can change the color of the pen. So if you want the first line to be in red, you just make the foreground color of your applet red. But if you want the second line then to be blue, you say g.setColor blue, color.blue. You can change fonts. That's useful if you draw strings. You can do XOR mode, which has to do with lines that, when they overlap existing drawings, are kind of pixelated so that you can reverse them. That's basically used for rubber banding. That's way beyond the scope of what we'll cover in this live lesson series because desktop graphics in Java are relatively rare. But I just want to point out that Java does support a very rich and powerful set of drawing operations, but those are only used for desktop graphics. Most people do server-side applications. Okay, so we come back and revisit this example. We set the background color, and we set the foreground color, and then we draw a line diagonally down from the top left corner, not diagonally up from the bottom left corner. And we said that for practice, the easiest way was to right-click in the Java code in Eclipse, run as Java applet, but you could also make an HTML file that invokes it and display it in a browser.